Hello, and welcome to Wolfcast, episode 13.
Baby's a teenager.
Finally hit the teenage
I've been
years.
waiting all fucking week to say that.
Come up with that all on your own, did you?
Proud of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's got to be proud of me.
I'm always proud of you, bro. You're on
Gay!
Oh, shut up.
Anyway,
Holy shit, this thing's finito.
Almost.
damn near it. We're gonna have to find you another piece of artwork to work on.
Well, I figured because Alpha brought up a good idea, and I should have started doing it from the first place, but
Oh, just working on our.
working on the next week's thumbnail during our podcast, which has saved me a lot of time, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll save you time, and
yeah.
plus they'll see a preview of like what's to come next week.
Yep, what we're going to talk about and stuff like that, so. But what's today's podcast?
All things Zach hates.
No.
I mean Fang.
No, not necessarily. It doesn't have to just
My bad.
be Marvel
My
and
bad.
DC.
He hates
shit.
Marvel.
It's talk nerdy to me. That's the theme today. Because we're
Talk
all
nerdy to me.
nerds. Talk nerdy. I like that song.
And there's
My
a
chair.
copyright claim.
I chair fucking dip
But-
down and they danced.
I'm a big nerd. Zach's a big nerd. Well, Fang's a big nerd. So you got me doing it now. And Alpha's a big nerd. So
False. I'm a huge nerd.
you'll see from the thumbnail that I post on the YouTube is that it's really awesome. It's Fang and Alpha sitting there talking
You
about
could
Marvel and LOL and stuff like that. And you have me in the background running from the Weeping Angels and the Adipose going, run! Dressed as the 10th Doctor because 10th Doctor is my favorite Doctor and will always be.
Who's he's everybody's favorite Doctor. I mean, you got your Matt Smith lovers, and
I
you
will
got your
not
Peter
accept
Capaldi,
Frankenstein Doctor.
and you got your Peter Capaldi Doctors as
I'm
well.
not a fan of Capaldi though.
Who's the 10th?
The 10th Doctor is David Tennant.
Oh yeah, he's a goat.
David Tennant is a phenomenal actor all around.
Plus,
But
you also
I
have
only
Daredevil.
know him. I only know him from Harry Potter and Marvel's Jessica Jones that I
you-
can think of.
right.
I've never watched Doctor Who, so
Oh,
don't
you're missing
crucify
out,
me.
man.
Don't crucify me in the comments.
Too late.
The Amazon
Too late.
show that we watched that had David Tennant in it.
Good Intentions or
Bad Omens.
Bad Omens.
So you want to know something funny about that?
Hmm.
When David Tennant's character's car blows up,
Mm-hmm.
you want to know what the director's motivation for David Tennant at that scene was?
What?
He goes, just imagine it's the TARDIS blowing up.
Oh.
And that's why you see that, like, actual sadness go through David Tennant's face, because...
Yeah, that makes my heart hurt. Don't say that.
because
Ah.
that was the motivation the director gave David Tennant for that scene was, imagine it's the TARDIS blowing up.
Oh, that hurts.
Which is kind of funny that you kind of just like, hey, you're an actor who played in Doctor Who. Because of how long was he in that? It was for an
He was-
entire season?
No, he was in like three seasons, I think.
Yeah.
But he had to leave because he hurt himself. But like the most real thing that you've got is when he's sitting there and he's about to do
Oh my god.
his fade into Matt Smith, where he's just sitting there.
For context,
Mm.
whenever the Doctor, at least from David Tennant forward, so you got David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and so on.
No, you also had the 9th Doctor did it too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Eccleston.
Eccleston. Christopher Eccleston, yeah, he did it as well.
He was my first Doctor.
But they're pretty much told on the very last episode of their season, they can say whatever the fuck they want. Go completely off script. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want to say. It's the last time you're going to be the Doctor. And they've all said absolutely phenomenal things.
I will give Capaldi his ending
Always be
speech
kind.
was fucking.
Yeah,
Mm.
the always be kind speech. It's great. But you have David Tennant, and his only words that he said, teary-eyed, looking at the camera, was, I don't want to go.
Mm.
And it was a phenomenal point in the series. We didn't want him to go either.
He's been our Doctor for so long.
I feel that same line, but in
Yeah.
a different movie.
Mm.
And then you had Matt Smith's, which was, I can't remember all of it, but at some point he says, I won't forget one word of this. Not one single word, I swear. But I will always remember when the Doctor
It
was
was
me.
me. Yeah.
and that is also
I
fantastic.
got chill. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Like, I was so excited when Netflix had all the old Doctor Who's on. I never got a chance to watch all of them because I was working at the time.
What, seasons 1 through fucking 8?
Yeah, oh my god! Like, I couldn't watch them because I was managing a store at the time, so I was always at work, and I never got a chance to watch them. And I was so mad because I wanted to actually see all the original Doctors. And I'm just like,
I mean, you can in The Day of the Doctor, the movie. It's a fantastic movie.
I need to see it. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen The Day of the
I
Doctor?
haven't seen that one that came out yet.
Oh my god, it is phenomenal.
Because I remember the 50th anniversary one was my absolute favorite.
It's the one with the War Doctor.
That was the 50th anniversary. I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's The
because-
Day of the Doctor. It's a movie.
I know, I've seen that one, but it
Yeah.
had Tennant, Frankenstein, and John Hurt.
It's Matt Smith.
It's Frankenstein Doctor.
Bow ties are cool.
Business are cool. Thank you,
What's
River.
funny is
Thank you, River, so much for shooting that off his head.
Which, it's funny, you don't like Matt Smith, but in the thumbnail art you have a silence, and the silence wasn't introduced until Matt Smith's season.
But they're still, you can be all smug all you want to, they're still a really cool freaking villain.
For context, Alpha, the silence is a group of it's an alien race that, if you look away from them, you forget about them. Immediately. Like,
You can tell by my silence that I have no fucking clue what's going on.
yeah, but that's what the silence is. You look at them, and you could have a full conversation with them, and then you'll look away and forget about them completely. You'll forget you ever had that conversation.
Go ahead.
I've always like, I have no hate towards it because I know it's a big like franchise or big series, and like a lot of people are intrigued with the show. I'm like one of those people that are like in context for like even today, like people have been like telling me like, oh, watch this, watch that, and I'm like, well, how many seasons is out? Oh, well, there's like 7, and then like they're getting ready to start the 8th. I don't have enough time to binge watch all that.
Oh, that's a
Sorry.
bull crap. You watch all these ones that have like tons of seasons. Don't even pull
No,
that.
You get caught up.
I only start if there's like a series that's been out maybe 1 or 2 seasons, I'll grind it. Or like Cobra Kai, it was out like for like 2 seasons, but the episodes are like 20 something minutes long. So that's quick. But if there's like 10 to 15 episodes, all like 45-minute plus long, and there's like 5-6 seasons out, I can't do it. I don't have time to game, stream, podcast, work, sleep, all this, that, and the other. But the only thing that I have done that to is Game of Thrones, and that's because you and Joseph kept pushing it down my throat at work, like watch it, and like I went on vacation and I came back and I was like, well, I'm caught up on Game of Thrones now.
I still
But
haven't seen all of Game of Thrones.
You don't
It's
have
good.
to.
It's good. Until
Okay, well, you can-
it's good
yeah.
until like the 6th or 7th season.
But back to
Doctor Who.
yeah, I knew there was Doctor.
Doctor.
But it's also like, isn't there like a lot of the seasons are like older, like
So
like
that's what
way
I'm-
older?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting at here. So seasons seasons 1 through 8, if you want to call them seasons, are old school. You got your black and white, you got your Technicolor, as technology went up through the 1900s. You technically don't have to watch them to understand what's going on, because when they brought Christopher Eccleston in,
Kinda
that is
reset.
technically season 1.
Yeah, they reset it, but they
He's
still
the
kept
9th
through.
Doctor. But
the way
it's
my
season
OCD
1.
works is that I would have to watch everything.
Then watch season 1, quote unquote.
That's not how it works.
No, you just tell your mind that's season 1. This is season 1.
Even if I weirdly enough tricked my mind to doing that, I would be like, all right, I would start where you're telling me to start. I would finish everything, be caught up to today's wherever it's ended at right now.
Right.
But then now that I'm caught up, I'm like, oh, now I have to go back and watch what I didn't watch. That's just how it is. Like,
Me,
like at first, like I went and watched what's a good example? The Halloween movies. I watched all of them and I was like, all right, well, I'm not watching these ones because they don't tie in. I finished them and I was like, nope, I gotta watch those too. It's just it's just how my mind has always worked.
me personally, when it comes to the first seasons of Doctor Who, I don't mind them. I don't think they're bad. I think they're phenomenal because they're Doctor Who. I have never seen a single episode of the original Doctors. I have not watched any of it. And it's not because I just can't watch black and white. I can't watch Technicolor. I don't find entertainment in them.
I know I get crucified all the time with like, well, why do you just still watch it if you don't really like that interested in it? I'm like, because I've watched 5, 6 seasons of it. I want to know how it ends.
Right.
It's like The Walking Dead. I'm gonna get fucking hated on for this too because there's still a huge fan base. Up until like season 7, I was highly intrigued with The Walking Dead,
Yeah, and then it got
and then
it got
now I'm
repetitive
just
for me.
like, this is just like no, like I don't like. Thank God it's ending. Oh, here's a spinoff. Son of a bitch.
See, I never got into The Walking Dead.
I didn't mind it for like the first 5, 6 seasons. And then I just realized it's the same thing as what was happening in season 1. And then I realized even further, I already know how this story ends. It ends in one of 3 ways. Your computer is not happy.
Rick Grimes wakes up in the hospital and it was all a dream.
Is that my computer making that noise?
I think so.
No. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's your graphics card throwing a hissy fit.
It probably is.
But no, it's like okay, either he wakes up in the hospital and this was all a bad dream.
That'd be like
That would be fucked.
I'd give him a standing ovation for that one.
They find a cure and everybody lives happily ever after afterwards. Or they all come into acceptance that this is the way of life now.
I think that's how it's gonna be.
Well, I say that last one because there's an anime called High School of the Dead.
Oh, that's a good anime, though.
It's a fantastic anime. Glory be to it. I hate it because it ended 13 episodes after.
Glory be to the Hypnotoad.
But it's a really short anime, and I wanted more of it. That's the only reason why I don't like it. But it literally ends with them having a last stand on the bridge, basically going, yeah, this is our life now. This is our family now. Fuck it, might as well go out swinging. And you're left to assume they died of the horde. But then on the end credits, it shows you pictures of them smiling and happy on that bridge. And that's how it ends.
Because they're happy to die. No, I'm just kidding.
No, because they survived. That was it. It's like, yep, they win. This is their life now. They accept that.
I have a comment.
What's that?
It says, hi, I'm new here. I have no idea what's going on. Excited to see what happens. Well, if you're new to Twitch, Twitch is a streaming service where you can watch people game or talk.
Don't be a smartass.
Or no, I'm just being honest.
Okay, yeah, honesty.
And
honesty.
And then, or you can stream yourself and hope that people come and watch you for their entertainment. If you're new to my stream and if you're referring to you don't know what's going on, we are recording a podcast.
Hello.
And May is doing amazing artwork in the background as we bullshit about topics from week to week. And if you don't watch the whole thing live, you can always watch it on Wolfcast podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. We're always happy
If
to
you're
have
still
new
here.
subscribers, and we always make sure that you want to comment, like, and subscribe for us, and help us get out there because
We are a weekly podcast. Weekly.
Yep.
Not bi-weekly. Not daily, because fuck that. No, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We would
But-
run out of fucking topics real quick if it was
Yeah,
daily.
it would eventually.
I
We're
expect
sitting
you to
here
stay there.
like, just like, well,
We
what do
would
we
go
talk about
from-
now?
We'd go from an hour to like 30 minutes within like
Yeah.
the first month and a half.
Yeah, we're an hour-long podcast. We talk about random bullshit that comes to our mind, and today's topic is nerdy shit.
Mhm.
Or what is perceived by your average
Said I'm
bird.
new to the Discord server, so I hopped in here when the post went up.
Oh!
So you're in one of my servers that I'm part of. So
Is
hi.
it the Den of Wonders or is it your art server?
I also did it in the Den of Wonders, and I did it in my art server. I did it into
Did you
two
do
of
it?
my gaming servers that I'm with friends, and then another one.
Did you put it in the Pointy Rex?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't do one of the Pointy Rex.
Okay.
I did one.
May is literally fucking promoting like anywhere. She's probably going into the bathroom stalls and places and writing it on the wall.
I was
am
tempted
not.
when I was a plumber's apprentice. I was sitting there and I'd be like in a porta potty and I'd be like, I could write it in here. It'd be real easy.
But if you came in through the, what is it?
Creepy cute critters.
Yeah. So yeah, I met Sam at IFC. So, and they asked me to join. They invited me to their server and everything. So they're a friend of mine. So welcome. A friend of theirs is a friend of mine. Hopefully, we can keep you entertained for a while.
Hopefully. If not, well, whatever.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
But yes, thank you for joining. But yeah, no, yeah, I love Sam. Like, they are awesome. I went and had sushi with them when we came back from IFC, so they are really nice people.
Okay.
I tried shrimp for the first
I
time.
still need
yesterday.
I still need to go to IFC with you.
I've tried to get you to go to IFC with me for like the last, what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, I know.
All right, we're going next year.
Bet. We'll get a hotel room and everything. Bet.
I'll
I
get a
just need to
fursuit
know-
ready.
I just need. Well, I didn't. We don't have to. First off,
First off, I ain't
We
got
don't
the
have
money for a fursuit. The fursuit
we
for
don't
my
have to do
character is
that. I just
$1,000.
meant like going and hanging out and whatnot. But I would just need to know in advance, like.
Well, Cece's probably going to be getting a hotel room next year
Yeah. So.
because she works Artist Alley, which means I'm probably going to be stuck up there for the weekend as well.
I mean, it's worth it. It's really fun.
It's in Indy, ain't it?
Yeah. It's in the
You
Marriott,
just
ain't it?
drive back and forth.
No.
I mean, that's what I usually do, but
Fuck that.
It's just
it's
like
much. It's
going
so
up to Indy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you didn't want to go all, we could just go one day and hang out.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
better just to have the hotel room. At least for me, it's better to have a hotel room because I get
No,
tired
for
of driving
you,
back and forth.
yes,
'Cause
because
you
you're there
basically
all
work there.
weekend
Yeah.
and working there. I just meant like if him and I went, we could go like a Saturday afternoon and spend all day there and then come home or whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, it's still fun though because there's like so many panels. They even have like gaming panels there too, where you can play Magic or Smash Bros, other tournaments
All right,
like
I need to
that.
become the king of
Oh.
IFC.
I don't
So-
smash my bros.
That's a lie,
Dude,
it's
it's a bro job.
a bro job.
It's not gay, it's a bro job.
It's a bro job. I can't stand you.
All right, well I'm down bad.
Shit. Anyway, let's get back onto the subject at hand here, which is that nerdy
Well,
talk.
yeah, we're all big
Well,
nerds here. So
We're both nerds and we're talking. So back to what we were just talking about. Just kidding.
besides Doctor Who being one of my absolute favorites, I
Cock out your
swallowed my
mouth.
spit there. Yeah. I'm a big nerd when
Bitter.
it comes to like video game lore and stuff like
Mm.
that. Like I love my Final Fantasy. Like I'm a big Final Fantasy nerd.
Endwalker comes
Ah,
out in
yes!
1 month.
I'm so excited. Can't
Wait,
wait for
October.
Endwalker.
Yeah.
November.
What is
November, yeah. Endwalker, the latest DLC for Final Fantasy 14. It is the biggest thing I've been excited for this entire year,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
it's
fuck, my last
great.
thing.
No, dude, like I'm day oneing most of the Endwalker content, and I'm gonna make May do it too.
Oh, I'm down. I love Final Fantasy 14. It is so much fun.
It really is. You got so much lore. It's interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with Hydaelyn and Zodiac, since this is the end of that
Mm-hmm.
I guess storyline, you could
The
say.
story arc, yeah.
Hey May, you missed a spot.
It's filling in.
Give it a second.
No, you
Why is it so delayed?
I don't know. It chug-a-lugs like this on me. Like my pen is not even touching. My
Yeah,
tablet.
you're not even drawing anything right now. It's just why?
I don't know why. I don't know if it's a graphics driver issue or if it's just the computer trying to process what I'm doing or.
on my screen you've missed 1, 2, 3, 4 spots.
I know I'm working on it.
No, I can see
I
them.
just didn't know if you didn't see it or
No,
not.
I saw it. I was just waiting for.
But that is weird how it takes that long.
Yeah. Welcome to my life of arting. God forbid if I do. Here, let me do it this way. God forbid if I do it in a big chunk like this. Oh, it's gonna make
It
it wider.
did it just fine.
It did it just fine. Usually, if it's really big, it's like it just goes super slow. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
If it's that big, it does what? Yeah.
We might need to look at like a better processor and maybe upgrade your GTX 1070.
Maybe. But yeah, Final Fantasy we're big nerds for, and then what else? I know I've recently gotten more into Marvel, because of Fang and Alpha and all my brothers through there. I was always a fan of X-Men. Like I got the hots for Wolverine.
Where's our next?
Mm.
Oh, what woman didn't get the hots for fucking Hugh Jackman?
the people who like Cyclops?
He's not hot.
I know.
He's mildly good looking.
But people liked him because he was the good guy. He was the good boy.
So
I
this
like
is
Wolverine
this is
'cause he
your
was awesome.
X-Men update.
Well, no.
As
Hang
far as I
on.
know.
Wait. Let me clarify. Not X-Men the movies. I was in love with X-Men the cartoon series.
The animated
And Wolverine,
series,
yeah, Wolverine,
phenomenal.
Wolverine and Gambit were my absolute favorites.
My
Absolute.
mom calls him Hugh Ass Man.
He was that's
If
American.
you put two Batman,
Man, Ass Man. I read it wrong. I read it wrong. Hugh Ass Man.
You ass man. No.
That Australian man can do whatever he wants.
He can just, that man can just talk at my lower parts and I'll be like, oh, I'm yours.
So from what I know, and I might be a little wrong because I don't know everything.
You don't?
Shock ass.
No.
Damn.
Shocker. Can't be friends anymore, huh?
Yeah, I guess not, dude. 14 years wasted.
Only
gone.
friends that know everything. But so Disney and Marvel finally got the rights from Fox for X-Men, Fantastic Four,
Wait,
Deadpool.
Pause. Doesn't Disney own Fox?
Now, yes.
Okay, carry on.
I love how it's like, now,
But-
yes.
But so what we get first, because I guess there was like a cool off period that you can't use certain characters and whatnot, and then they're gonna introduce Fantastic Four first, and then after so long of like them being there, and someone discovers like mutants and whatnot, and then so X-Men will finally be introduced. We probably won't see X-Men until probably anywhere from 2024 to 2025.
Which means eventually, though, we will get a Deadpool MCU.
That
He
is
already is in the-
rumor.
I thought he's already in the MCU.
So
Question mark.
if you ask Scoopa Steve, his movies are not canon to the MCU.
Right.
Which I understand his point of view on that, because they came out before the MCU, and which doesn't make sense because if they're saying now that his movies are canon because they're making a third one and he'll be in there, he'll be a part of the MCU, that those are now canon, and all the old X-Men movies are not. It just that doesn't make sense to me. But if you ask other people, now that Deadpool is in the MCU or will be joining the MCU,
He's robot.
technically his first
That's your
two
end.
Is it my end?
Mhm.
his first two movies would be canon.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a
But
brief momentary disruption on Maze and headset wise. She was saying you were roboting real bad. However, I was hearing you just fine.
Bless you.
Ugh.
oh yeah,
Bless
Deadpool
you,
will
good.
definitely not ever be on Disney Plus unless they
I-
make a rated R section.
I really hope they do it because I know there was rumor of them talking about it how since Stanley has passed away that Deadpool come in dressed as Stanley and do all
Him
his
do the cameos,
I would
yeah.
love for that to happen.
That would be
make me
fantastic,
happy.
like as a like in memoriam type deal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ryan Reynolds is just the new Stanley.
I kind of agree with the Deadpool not making sense canon wise, because if they include this third movie into the MCU, but they don't include X-Men, then what we saw in the second movie and the first movie doesn't make any sense because you have the X-Men are there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all
Well,
there.
see, that's
Your
another thing
poor
is that
wife.
Deadpool is supposed to be a part of the reason that X-Men gets introduced into the MCU. That's why Deadpool will be a part of the MCU first, and they're making his third movie, and then he'll eventually introduce the X-Men.
Mm.
Okay, that would work. Yeah.
But technically the only X got introduced would be Colossal and Teenage Mega
Warhead.
fucking
Warhead,
yeah.
yeah.
Teenage Mega Warhead. Well, not really, because you had that scene in Deadpool 2 where they're walking through the mansion and Professor
they just-
X and
they
all
just
them are
closed-
there.
That was the second one because
Yeah.
they made mention of the first one. How no
I guess
one
they
was
couldn't afford.
there.
Well, yeah, because he goes. I guess the director couldn't afford the budget to put all the X-Men in here, so it's just you two.
And so then you have the James McAvoy and all of them just like they shut the door.
Just close the door. But I don't know. But it's just like all these other movies that aren't canon, like the 2005 Hulk. It's not canon. The old X-Men movies aren't canon.
It's looking like the old Spider-Man might be
But-
canon since they're.
But that I was
introducing-
getting ready to say that. It's like they used to say that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's movie aren't canon. Well, if they're in this new one,
They've
And
already
they would have to be.
Marvel's got to be careful with what they're doing here because they're going into the comics, which is great. But in the comics, you have the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
If prior to this year, you were saying that these movies are not canon, but now in this year you're saying there's a multiverse and all this other shit. Well, now suddenly those movies are canon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it will just be like Kevin Feige came out and is like, well, they weren't, but now that we broke the multiverse, they are.
Now that we decided to make a marketing decision, they are. This is what essentially is gonna boil down to, and it's you got to be careful when dealing with multiverse things like this because it could fuck you up canatonically. Like, I personally like Tobey Maguire. He was the first Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those movies. I didn't care for the third one. It was kind of cringe, but
It's just
Fucking
it's
pie
just like
scene.
it's just like the third one. They try to rush too many villains in. Just like in
Yeah.
the second Andrew Garfield movie, they tried to rush too many villains in.
right.
And
But
if they don't do this one right, they're putting a lot of villains in this one too. But I don't think they're gonna fuck it up.
no, they've teased the multiverse. They've teased all this other shit in it. We're gonna get this. They've teased the Sinister Six. Like you can't fuck that up.
Mm-hmm.
They teased the Sinister Six in the second Andrew Garfield movie, the post-credit scene.
Did they? I never seen the
Yeah.
post-credit scene of that one.
Somebody's walking in like this like basement area, and you just see Vulture's wings and Doc Ock's arms, and like it's like just like a glass case of like someone who's like collected all these like
Well, see,
villain
I'm
things.
grateful to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because growing up, I watched all the cartoons that would come on the weekends. I'd watch your X-Men, your Spider-Man, your Ghostbusters. I still love Ghostbusters. I'm a big Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters so
Brief
much.
pause before I forget this thought.
What?
I had on VHS tape at my grandma's house, and I know I'm dating myself with that VHS tape. Herder. But-
Old man.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
mean,
You're
I
older
still
than
have
me.
some
Shut up!
VHS.
But no, I had on VHS Spider-Man versus Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And it wasn't even a versus. They didn't really fight. There was like one scene where they threw a couple punches and then went, "Wait a minute, we're both good guys. Why are we doing this?"
What am I doing? I have a career.
And then they were like, "Wait a minute, there's what's his name? Bald guy, fat.
Penguin?
No,
Let's say Daddy Warbucks.
Bald guy, fat.
is the reason.
Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin. And they're like, "Wait a minute, we're good guys. Hey, look, there's the bad guy, Kingpin," and they just start whooping his ass. Like,
Get that mother.
like that's how that entire thing is.
This is another. Go ahead.
As a kid, I never understood why it was called Daredevil versus Spider-Man because there's like one scene where they trade blows and go, "Wait a minute."
Get you drawn in to be
Yeah.
like, wait, why are these two heroes fighting each other?
Yeah,
But that's another
probably.
thing is that the Netflix Marvel series are quote unquote not canon, but there's rumored that the guy who plays Matt Murdock in the Netflix Marvel's Daredevil
Yeah,
is going to be in the new Spider-Man.
they're gonna
now
do
they're
that.
canon.
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna do that, and they're gonna be like multiverse. That's gonna be their excuse for a hot minute here. Is they're gonna be like, "Well, that wasn't canon 2 years ago." It's like, yeah, but multiverse,
Multipass.
multipass.
That's another one of my
it's-
favorite movies.
It's another thing like they had to have a cool off period before they could use them. But yeah, that would make a good point. Like because like in this movie, Spider-Man needs a lawyer because of he quote unquote killed Mysterio last movie.
Right.
Spoiler if you haven't watched it. Sorry, Fang, you haven't. But
I
Spoiler,
played the game where you kick his ass and basically kill him anyway.
if you
really
haven't
can't
watched
spoil
it,
things for me, so
you're crazy. But yeah, they're gonna be like, well, he needs a lawyer, and then he's like, oh yeah, multiverse. Hey, heard you needed some help.
Here's a blind lawyer who also just so happens to use
Kick ass.
yeah, who just so happens to kick ass and use Kai sticks or Kali sticks. I'm sorry. And
I like the original Daredevil too.
Daredevil
But,
was fantastic. Isn't there also another one that's like Daredevil and Elektra or something like that?
No,
Mhm.
Elektra is in Daredevil, but then she gets her own movie, but it
That's
wasn't as
right.
good.
That's right.
I actually own the original two Spider-Man and Daredevil on VHS, and anybody else did you guys own them on VHS?
Yeah, I owned Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then I owned Daredevil. I
Did
did.
you ever
I owned
put
Elektra.
in?
I owned Elektra as well.
Did you ever put in like Daredevil or Spider-Man 1, and when they did the whole because they played Hero by Nickelback before they played the movie on Spider-Man 1, and then they played that like Bring Me Back to Life by Evanescence before Daredevil, the music videos.
Right. Yeah.
I would pop them in and just listen to that and be like, well, rewind.
So back as a kid, I didn't have as much musical aptitude as I do now. So I didn't really care. Whenever they played music in the opening, I was like, yeah, I just want to watch superhero beat up bad guy. I don't care about any of this other shit. It wasn't until I got older that I cared for music. Nowadays, if you were to set those movies in front of me, if you were not those movies, because both those songs I have heard a million fucking times. But if you were to set a movie down in front of me that had a kick-ass opening rock music style gig, I would probably rewind and rewatch it. But as a kid, I didn't care for that.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm
Oh yeah,
grateful.
I completely cut you off. I
You did.
apologize.
I'm grateful for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because they got me more into it. Because X-Men got me more back. That's bad English. Got me back into liking Marvel movies because I loved X-Men. I loved how they were executed. And then the Spider-Man came out, and I enjoyed Spider-Man. I wasn't a fan of Hulk until Mark Ruffalo. I actually like Mark Ruffalo's performance of Hulk better than Edward Norton's and the previous guys.
I don't remember any of the actors outside of Mark Ruffalo. I remember the movies.
Edward Norton, this guy was in Fight Club with Brad Pitt. The guy who was...
Edward Norton is the guy who plays in the Hulk MCU movie and then didn't come back for the Avengers, so they put Mark Ruffalo in.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you who played him in the 2005 movie, and I have the face of the guy who played him in the TV show, that big motherfucker.
His name is Lou Ferrigno.
Because I think he even cameos in the Hulk movie, the MCU one.
Yeah, it's Lou
He's
Ferrigno.
the security guard. He's a security guard next to Stan Lee, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno, the original guy that played the Hulk of the TV series. He's actual body, like he's actually that big too.
He's built,
yeah,
like a fucking blimp.
I always loved the ending of, like, I actually used to watch the Hulk TV series, and I loved the end theme as he's walking down the highway hitchhiking. I loved hearing that sad piano tune.
It's unfortunate that scene got memed. Like, even Family Guy did a scene of Stewie walking down the road to some somber music hitchhiking.
It's that theme.
Yeah, and it got memed. Those movies got a lot of shit. So I never understood. The X-Men movies got a lot of shit. Tobey Maguire got a lot of shit for his Spider-Man. I didn't have a problem with those movies. Same with Fantastic Four. I thought those were great movies.
Mm-hmm.
What little I saw of Silver Surfer was great movies, but everyone's like, no, they're terrible. Fuck those movies. Redo them.
Well, you gotta think about it. For that time, they were really fucking good. But now that you see the people that are saying, "Oh, those are terrible. We need to redo them," are people that have seen just the MCU versus like what we didn't have back then.
True.
So like us as a kid, we were like, "Oh, Spider-Man! Yeah, Spider-Man! Oh, Stretch Guy!" Da-da-da-da. But like
Stretch Guy's name is Mr. Fantastic.
No, but as a kid, most kids probably didn't know that. They were just like, "Oh, Stretch Guy." I was pretending to be a kid.
That's Stretch Guy. Aren't
Pretending.
But
he's like, "You assholes." Love you, bro.
Bye, guys. Peace.
Disconnect from Discord.
But another thing that also I'll say this real quick. We don't have to go into it because it's almost the same thing as we're talking about. Is that you had your DC series as movies, and then you had the Arrowverse, which has like Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, etc.
Right.
And nothing was canon.
Hang on,
and then
pause.
they did.
Just to ask you a question real quick. Was Supernatural Universe canon to the Arrow universe? Did they make that a thing?
No.
They didn't make that a thing? Okay, continue.
So then they had Crisis on Infinite Earth, which is like one of the biggest like DC wars and whatnot that goes on. And one of the opening scenes, they just like have like this like
taking a full almost minute for this to process that I did what I did.
They did this like flashbacks to all these things. So you saw Michael Keaton's Batman, the Robin that was in those movies. Then you had Titans that's on a different streaming platform. And then like there's a scene where they go to the guy who plays Smallville's Smallville, and the Arrowverse of Superman meets that Superman. So then like now all that's canon. So like everything's just like trying to like bring in the multiverse and just connect everything to everything now. So essentially everything is canon in DC, and almost everything is canon in the MCU.
Everything is canon in DC except for Spawn and Constantine.
Constantine. I love Constantine.
The Constantine movie isn't, but there's a Constantine show that came out that wasn't canon, but then he went to Arrow, and then from Arrow he went to Legends, and how he's on Legends of Tomorrow. So that Constantine is canon to
Now I finally
that
did it.
Constantine is Constantine. That Constantine is canon to the Arrowverse, but not Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Right. That Constantine is fantastic.
Which was a good movie.
It's
Yeah,
a
it was
fantastic movie. I actually didn't care for the Spawn movie.
I liked it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm not saying that it was a bad movie. I think that I watched it out of its time. So when I watched it, the graphics, the CGI, the animation style, all that shit looked really cheesy to me when I first watched it. Because I was used to 2005's Hulk, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, all this other shit.
That's an old movie.
Spawn? Yeah. Spawn is old.
1997.
Yeah, so I was 3 when it came out.
I was 5. Man.
Go on, man. How old were you? You would have been 13.
And when?
1997. You would have been 13.
Yeah, fuck you, bitches.
You would have been as old as our podcast.
Yeah.
Which...
Well,
I know I'm old. Fuck off.
But no, so...
Not old.
I wouldn't say that Spawn was a
enough.
terrible movie just because I watched it out of its time. I'm sure when it came out in 97, it was a movie of its time. It had phenomenal graphics, phenomenal animations. But by the time I watched it, which wasn't until like 2008, 2009...
You were like, what the fuck?
I was like, what the fuck? I can see the animation lines. I can see the green screen.
Mm-hmm.
I can see all this shit.
It's just like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Phenomenal movie. I would still watch it today.
It's fantastic. Guaranteed.
But when Ivan Ooze comes out, you're like, what the fuck?
What is that ugly looking piece of garbage on my TV screen? You can see the outline of the green screen behind him. You can tell that the lip sync for his mask isn't quite right.
You want to know what made me sad with when they remade it?
What?
So I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I adore them. Raphael forever. I love Raphael.
How cool movie. Does that bother you?
It's like, can you crunch a little louder? I can still hear this here.
Crunch.
Go into the roof.
The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies were phenomenal.
But then when they remade them with the Michael Bay, whoever did the remake, I hated it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. It was, they wanted to remake it anyway, but they look more like aliens than turtles.
Well, so I'm not going to say they're
so good. But,
I'm not going to say they're bad movies, but compared to the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, it was goofy. It was silly. Yeah. It was like they made the TV show, the old fucking 1990s
that TV show. I watched it
animated TV show. It's like they took that and made it a movie, and it was phenomenal. And then suddenly Michael Bay gets a hold of them, and now we're looking at more serious turtles, more explosive turtles. And I don't mean that just because it's Michael Bay. I mean that as in they're blowing shit up.
Boom.
They're blowing shit up. I believe they cuss in those movies, too.
I liked it because a couple of the actors who played the Turtles, I know from other things. On top of Megan Fox was in it. On top of Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow.
Yes.
He plays Casey Jones.
Now, the new movies were fine as a new adaptation of the Turtles. But
I just didn't like the design.
The old movies I would still hold better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might hate or love this then.
What's that?
They're rebooting it again.
Again?
Ugh.
but it's supposed to be animated,
Okay, we'll see what they do with
But-
that.
directed by Seth Rogen.
Oh, it's gonna be a fucking weed house. All right.
The turtles aren't gonna eat pizza because they're hungry.
They're gonna eat pizza because they got the fucking munchies. Oh, say go back. Tell me,
Chat
you
wants
didn't
to
pay money
know-
for this.
Ooh.
Chat wants to know exactly what you are drawing.
This is a piece that I had did years ago. I had it drawn out, it was sketched out, and it just kind of sat in a folder. And it sat in a folder to be cleaned up and what I was gonna eventually turn into a digital piece. And so I never really gave her a name. She was just a demon dragon wolf hybrid. And I just figured since when we started doing our serial killer podcast, I started working on her, and I've been working on her ever since. And then I'm pretty sure I'll have her finish this podcast and then start working on
Well,
thumbnails.
maybe not this podcast.
Yeah.
We're already
40 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes in.
But I'm working on the background now. But this is just one I've been working on. So hopefully I plan to have this one finished by today or near finished, and then start working on new stuff. But yeah.
When she said serial killer podcast, she meant like so we have a different topic every week.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the topics were serial killers. So if you go to Wolfcast podcast on YouTube, selfish plug, you'll see a whole bunch of different topics. Like we've talked about movies, cartoons, anime, serial killers, ghosts, hauntings, lore, where we'd like to travel, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And we always go off topic.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah,
that's
we
what.
do go off topic.
It's because we
And
get subjects
Thanks
on
for
there.
saying that, Eli, because I'm terrible with names, so I would have said your name and botched it. So if you come back next week or whatnot, because we do them every Sunday around anywhere from 5 to 7, Eli, got you.
Hello, Eli.
How's it going? Tune in later tonight where I face off in a bracket style tournament.
Yeah.
Selfish
Not
plug.
on this Twitch.
Not
channel.
on that Twitch channel. It'll be at my own at Fang0925. I will be taking part in a League of Legends bracket.
Editor cut his.
Oh yeah, fuck
okay.
you.
I'm
No,
just
but
kidding.
we always we also have a Facebook as well, which is you can find us at Wolfcast Podcast on Facebook. I post when we're going live, and I also post questions and stuff that we can ask the people on Facebook and also on the Discords and Twitter, because we also ask you guys what you think or what are some of your favorite things, and things that you had, like were embarrassing camp stories or just awesome ghost stories that you have or want us to tell. I always like to also get audience participation and be like, hey, what's one of the funniest things that you did or want us to talk about on our show? So I love doing that.
Back
And
on,
so like I try not to like stop the podcasts as much, so I do read all your comments, but if when I'm streaming I'll try to respond as much as possible, but like during the podcast I only cut out so many like questions and stuff,
we
'cause I don't-
gotta keep doing what we're doing, like why we're here tonight. So don't take offense if we don't read your shit. Don't think we're ignoring you. We see it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably get to all of it at the end, I'd like to say. But don't feel like since we didn't acknowledge what you had asked or what you had said that we're ignoring you. We're trying to get through this, and because we're only doing this for an hour every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to get
every week.
or every week, not every day.
I said
God
every
damn.
year. Trying to correct you.
But
Tune back next year.
But no, so don't feel like we're just ignoring you, that we're pieces of shit. But we are pieces
We
of
are.
shit. But we're not that
pieces of
mean.
shit.
We'll get around to it. And back on subject to kind of get away from Marvel, I have a bit of a rant regarding League of Legends.
Oh boy.
So League of Legends, if you don't play it, if you've never played it, stay away from it, because don't play it, because it'll suck your life away and you'll never have a moment of peace again.
All right,
But-
I'm playing it tomorrow.
Oh, good luck on you. But so League of Legends is a very lore-rich game. It really
Super.
is. If you read the backstory of characters, there used to be a thing. It was the League of Legends newspaper, which isn't a thing anymore, unfortunately, but it was a thing that they posted on their website that would give you lore updates about what was happening in the quote-unquote news of the world of Runeterra. And it was a really cool thing to happen. And my rant for this is, for the longest time, we had Yorick. His full name was Yorick Mori, which was a...
Play on Memento Mori.
Yeah, a play on Memento Mori. But it was teased for the longest time that he would be the Ruined King resurrected. And that the Maiden would be the Ruined King's queen. The Maiden is Yorick's ultimate, his level 6 R ability. He summons a ghostly maiden to assist him in battle. And then we got the event, the Ruined King.
Mm-hmm.
And Riot Games said, fuck you, and threw everything we knew about Yorick out the fucking window and released Viego. And Yorick had this elixir of life that he was protecting because he wanted to bring his wife back. And he just gave it away to Viego for no fucking reason. We were never given a reason. It was just Riot wanted a storyline behind Viego. And it royally fucked everything up for those of us who have been playing the game for 8+ years. Hang on, there is something going on in the background of my house. Castillo!
What is he doing? Oh, daddy voice came out. Technical difficulties, hang on. Our dog is being a dog.
But anyway, that was my rant for League of Legends lore.
A game you need to start grinding is Pokemon Go.
Yeah, okay.
I play Pokemon Go. I like Pokemon Go. Actually, another one of my things, I love Pokemon. Like, I adored playing Pokemon on my DS. I need to do that. I need to get back into that again.
Yeah, especially since you have a Switch now.
Yep, I do have a Switch. Thanks to my
And
brother.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl are coming out again,
I
and we're
know.
also getting Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out here soon.
I still don't know if I'm gonna get Diamond or Pearl.
I'm gonna get Diamond because that's the one I had as a kid.
I didn't
And
play either one of them, and like I want to because I haven't played them, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to grind another game.
You don't have to grind. Let's be real. You don't grind Pokemon games. You sit down for 8 hours and you beat it.
You don't grind Pokemon games. It grinds you.
Like, if you're not trying to
Yeah,
complete
that's my fucking gears.
if you're not trying to complete the Pokédex, you can beat Pokemon in a day.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Sword. It took me a while, but I beat Sword except for the ending where you have to like just go look for legendaries or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not even an ending. Like, that's just completing your That's another step of completing your
Yeah.
Pokédex. Like,
Yeah, I don't care about completing the The only thing I ever have, and this is even like today, not even like as a kid, did I try to complete the Pokédex in any of the games.
same.
Pokemon Go is the only one I've been trying to complete the Pokédex, but it's just fucking difficult because
Yeah.
certain Pokemon you can only get in raids, and certain Pokemon you can only get in different
Australia.
countries.
There's
Yeah,
actually somebody had showed me an IFC one year. There's something you can download on your phone or tablet that literally makes your character appear in that country.
You could probably use a VPN
Or
to
you
do
can
it.
get
as
it's
yeah.
well.
called spoofing, and Niantic finds out, you get no warning, and your account is banned, and you either A, restart, or you don't play.
There's
Does it
also
happen to somebody?
you could probably
no.
also use Pokemon Home and transfer Pokemon from your Pokemon Sword and Shield
Oh yeah.
over
Yeah, you
into
can do
your
that.
Pokemon Go.
And
so-
that's not cheating, so.
yeah, because it's using a guarantee, like it's a actual endorsed thing by Game Freak.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do it that way. If you don't have a Kangaskhan or a Farfetch'd or what have you, you could transfer it to your Pokemon Home, and then from Pokemon Home, transfer it to your Pokemon Go.
I have a Kangaskhan. I hatched one. And a
You
Mr. Mime.
hatched a Kangaskhan?
I did, and a Mr. Mime. I
Nice.
was super happy. I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I got traded a Kangaskhan, and then, like, a couple months later, hatched one. And I hatched Mr. Mime. I actually hatched like 3 Mr.
Mr.
Mimes within like a
Mime.
month.
Mr. Mime is Ash's dad.
Fight me.
That is canon Pokemon lore.
I severely doubt that.
No, it's canon.
Is it really?
Yes, Mr. Mime is Ash's dad.
Jesus.
Well, stepdad.
Stepdad.
Because Mr.
Did he
Mime.
capture Mr. Mime?
No, because Mr.
He captured
Mime.
that ass.
Mr. Mime, in its Pokédex entry, I believe for Red and Blue, says that it will often step in as a father figure for fatherless children. In the anime, you always see Ash's mom with a Mr. Mime.
This is fucked. Because, like, I never thought about that, and now it's just
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Now you have to live with what I've lived with for years.
But the movies now, this is kind of off topic, but the movies now, they're still... Another thing I'm going to get fucking killed for. Okay, I'll just say this. Personally, I don't think they're good. They're good to an extent, but I don't think they'll ever be as good as the first 2 or 3 in the show.
No.
The show then and the show now is just, I feel like they're just trying and they're trying to cap on it and just keep adding more Pokemon, which is fine. I'm down for getting more Pokemon and, you know, letting Pokemon go longer than it was probably projected to even. They probably didn't think Pokemon Go was going to be this big.
Fun fact, Pokemon was actually supposed to end Generation 2, I think.
That's when I stopped. Like after like that like second series, because they had like the main series that was like 2 or 3 seasons, like 50 something episodes, and then that next series they did like a couple seasons. I stopped watching after that. My brothers were watching it here and there on Cartoon Network, and I was like, nah, I'll watch, but I never got really into it. I've watched like the movies when they come out. Like there was one that just came on Netflix last week. I watched it. It was okay. And then I watched that Pokemon I Choose You and the Mewtwo Strikes Back that was on Netflix, which are
Damn.
pretty much they're both reboots of the first movie. Well, actually, I think Pokemon I Choose You is like almost a reboot of the whole first series. Because Ash finds Charmander and that Charmander was like abused by its owner or whatnot.
You're right
Oh,
on that.
yeah.
It's just them taking in the first couple episodes of the series and putting it into a movie format.
But yeah.
On that note, how long have we been going now? 52
we're
minutes?
at 52 at the
I've
moment.
got that bracket in 2 minutes.
Oh, is it got to start here soon?
Open Sunday, September. Open Sunday, 7:15.
All right. Well, we might go ahead and have to cut this one down. So, this is basically done. I'm just adding in some basic details in the background, just smoking
It's
stuff.
finally finished 13 episodes later.
13 episodes later. I was gonna add some smoke into the background real quick. That's what I was gonna do. But basically have smoke kind of rising up behind her. So I'll probably finish this up and post this out on Facebook and also on my Fur Affinity as well, so that way people can see it. Have like
Eli said they had fun and good luck with your bracket.
All right,
Subscribe.
thank you for that.
Subscribe
Yeah.
and come back next week.
But make sure you follow us on all of our social medias. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you for sitting and talking nerdy with us. We're all big nerds as it is. Like, we'll sit and talk for hours about things that we like and geek out about. League of Legends, Call of Duty, Gears of War for me, stuff like that. So we really appreciate your love and support. So please do make sure that you give us a like, a follow, and subscribe for us. Thank you again. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
In the words of Nate Shot, YouTube will see you fudge later. Bye!
Bye.